Hello, High Self Magic here. How are you all feeling after the eclipse? So many people say, oh, that eclipse was useless, nothing's happened. Things are supposed to happen madly after an eclipse. Well, they don't. In fact, they actually move slowly over a few days, but you get these sort of conductors of things to come, the activation part of things to come. I pulled 3 cards for the general mood of this reading, and I got Leo, which of course we're in Leo season, and of course this eclipse was in Leo. We've got Jupiter, which we know is extremely important at this time. I'm going to put them next to my heart daisy. Jupiter's the planet of abundance, as you know. If you're Sagittarius, is your ruler. Leo, of course, is ruled by the sun. And then we've got Virgo, digest. So we're coming to Virgo season next. And by Virgo season, you will have digested all the messages that are coming to you after this eclipse. So the 15th and 16th of August are extremely important. They're in the middle of the month and they are the sort of center point. The center point of where we are after this eclipse. We're in the middle of August. What's the rest of August going to bring us? Well, one of the biggest mistakes people do make regarding an eclipse is that things should change overnight. They think the eclipse is on the 12th of August and by the 13th of August their lives should be completely different. That's not exactly how they work. They set things in motion. They do change quite quickly, but by them introducing a step-by-step formation, the eclipse starts to introduce this step-by-step formation, or it gives you building blocks that you can build your own future on, because the building blocks are there whilst they weren't before. And so special gifts come from these steps. Sometimes there are many ways they can show. Let's look at what the cards say. So you get many gifts at this time and they activate your thinking process. So here we've got conjunction and alliance, and some of you will be forming an alliance with people that will create the stability for you to build on. So you might get calls over the 15th and 16th and the rest of August. Of course, the 15th and 16th are extremely important. The 16th we're at today, but only as a center point, the center of the month. The rest of the month is going to flow from things that happen today, the 16th, and the rest of this week. But one of them here we can see is taking flight. So you might be going somewhere, or someone might be flying in or coming in to bring you news or a piece of information or an opportunity. So that's how we see that card. Another thing is that particular situations, with particular situations that come up, you can now measure the true cost of being prevented from finishing a road. So it's not all about what's going to come. It's the realization that where you thought you'd failed, or where you thought you'd been diverted or let down or not chosen, are actually gifts, because you hear things, you find out things about people that maybe let you down. I thought, God, that could have been me. That could have been me. Good job that happened to me, that I was rejected by that person or by that job. So the rejection might have hurt a lot at the time because you were shown the door and you had to just get away, and that alliance broke up. But remember, at the time when that alliance broke up and you had to fly away, or they flew away, you weren't shown what would have happened had they stayed. And that is what this eclipse is going to show you. It's going to show you how your future could have gone. I don't know if you've ever watched that film, Sliding Doors. It's an old film now, but it showed two possibilities of how life could have gone had you gone through that door or that door, and how bad things could have got or how good things could have got. So I think this eclipse, especially around this week, will show you things that you will appreciate saved you. Show you things, you will have a realization that what if you'd stayed, you would not have had as good a life as you possibly have now. Even though your life might not be as good as you'd like it to be, you were saved from something much, much worse. Anyway, let's just talk about this moment we're in right now in the middle of the month. It's the 15th, 16th, 17th really, and the eclipse has passed, and there's something about these few days that can make the bigger picture in the future look very different. You don't need to understand why right now, but the rest of August will show you why and how. It might be you make a call and you don't get a reply, and you will know that that's the end of that, or just realizations are going to step in, or someone will call you having changed their mind and create that opportunity which is going to make you move forwards. There's something about calls as well. People calling. Something will click and you will understand why that situation we were just talking about a minute ago, that alliance, whether it was professional or personal or family, ended, and why you didn't carry on in that situation. It really wasn't to make you miserable or depressed or suicidal. It was really something that saved you. You could have ended up in an abusive relationship. You could have been in a job where the stress was just far too massive for the little gain you were receiving. So let's talk about the rest of August and the direction you may be going in. It might be a completely different direction to what you were expecting. Here's my beautiful fairy card. She's guiding us today. I am a fairy reader, and this beautiful autumnal winter fairy is guiding us today. She popped up out of my cards. So you could be going in a direction you never expected. So this in-between phase is going to be working magic on how things change around you. Could it be the start of a new financial situation? A new post that gives you more authority? Could it be that communication is, let's look at that card. You've got the mountain. So you're climbing that mountain, and these opportunities will get you to reach the top. But here we've got the communication card. This could be a love message where two people start communicating with each other in a much better word. Look at those beautiful lovebirds. Or it could be communication through something you've been waiting such a long time to have. Yeah, so something's going to arrive. Something's going to arrive in this month of August, and it's going to change things quite a lot. It could be like the start of a new financial situation. It could be the start of a new love relationship, but something's going to arrive and make things happen that you've wanted to happen for a long time. Could be the start of a new financial era. And here we've got Sagittarius, which is the planet of expansion because of Jupiter. And Jupiter, the Jupiter card, is right here. And Jupiter and Sagittarius work together to create abundance and expansion. So I would expect some of that coming through the stepping stones, at least in August. Your mistakes, your karmic lessons, look at these two hitting each other on the head, meeting head on. And we've got the karmic 8 there. Your trials and tribulations that I've just spoken to you about have made you into the person you are today. You might be able to look back on those and see how they've shaped you. But certainly, as I said at the beginning of this reading, you're going to get messages about people in the past that have let you down, and about how lucky you were. The realization will come how lucky you were at getting out of that. One more of these cards, please. So you can start counting your blessings that you're not in that situation where you're in at opposite ends of the spectrum, hitting your heads against a brick wall or each other. Another thing about the eclipse is the acceleration it brings. It doesn't always change things overnight, but it does put you in a position where things happen much more quickly. And that's the Jupiter card explains a lot of that. Can we have a few more of these, please, before I move to the lot? My oracle cards. Okay, let's see what comes up here. Mercury messages. Well, Mercury's direct at the moment, so all messages are clear and to the point. And Capricorn's here saying you are going to achieve. You're going to achieve what you set out to achieve. So it might be that the eclipse didn't bring things in overnight, but it'll put you in a position where things will happen faster than they've ever happened before. And they will happen in such a way that a situation that could have dragged on for ages will actually see some achievement coming through. So, and the messages that you get regarding that will be clear, concise, to the point, and very forward thinking. Let's take some of those. On my oracle cards, because they speak to me so directly. Yeah, a lot of healing going on for you. The chakra cards are here. And you have felt all tied up. It's like a situation just dragged on, and you were just tied up in it, not knowing what was going to happen, what could come of it, was there any point in it at all? And suddenly it starts resolving itself with less delay. Without a doubt, some things you thought would take ages or weren't going to happen at all will start moving forwards now. These days are sort of like put your foot on the pedal days, not particularly for you, but for the planets that support you. Because once one important change occurs, it releases several other changes. So one thing might happen, one decision, one occurrence may occur, and it unlocks another. And then the next one unlocks another. and the whole situation evolves into something beautiful. And so one answer, you know, you make that phone call, you don't get a reply, then you do get a reply in a few days' time, and it removes all uncertainty. Sometimes it's the other way around. It just tells you things are not going to happen. So to just move on from that and to start putting your energy into something else. But like one payout occurs, you get the money to pay something, and then the more money is available, and you're able to pay for more, and you're able to create with those building blocks something substantial that's going to work for a long, long time to come. All those adjacent possibilities, those doors all start opening. And that's a lot to do with the chakras being open, you healing due to planetary influence, but also down to the divine, the healer of all ages. At the end of the day, there's only one person, one thing that's in charge, and that's the divine. Put all your hopes and dreams into that. And here there's a woman holding a heart, which tells me that love is coming in for someone, or a love match that didn't happen or wasn't good is actually now unlocking itself. You get answers in that area as well. You start moving closer together. And whoever's listening to this reading, you are not used to things moving quickly. You've been in a stalemate for a long, long time, I would say. So when the angel of love pops in with answers and messages of help, you're going to be very, very content indeed. So you'd be quite overwhelmed by how quickly things move forwards when we get through this little path of the 15th, 16th, 17th, and how quickly things start becoming clearer. As I said, a phone call can change the whole direction of a month. One person, one decision, one answer can remove weeks of uncertainty. One cancellation can make way for something so much better coming in. You know, a cancelled date or a cancelled dinner, and then you get a call and how do you fancy doing this? Or you go somewhere else and an opportunity occurs. So take the blockages as blessings. And I would say if you've been building things, learning, responding, developing your skills, then you are the person this eclipse is going to help. This is when you will get rewarded, absolutely and totally. But what I'd say is most important about this eclipse is that a stronger financial period is going to come in for a lot of people. And it doesn't necessarily announce itself with a great big pile of money. It just can sometimes begin with access to money, i.e. you meet the right person who gives you an opportunity, or you discover an opportunity yourself through a grant or a government grant or a business grant or a loan. But some opportunity is going to come in a financial way due to this eclipse. This is its biggest blessing, I believe. An offer, you get an idea you can actually act on, or you see one moment in a completely different way to how you saw it before. And while it was standing still before, you now see it as something moving that you've got to join forces with to move with it. It could be a path that opens. it looks really small, but then you realise what amazing potential that has for building stability, and suddenly your world is much more stable due to that. Yeah, your world will start to change and you will look at things differently. If you've been listening to my readings, you will see how I interpret this world card in different ways. This is the world being your lobster. You're looking out and realizing you have got the potential now to move forwards. Your practical circumstances begin giving you more room to move. It could mean that a professional opportunity has appeared at the right moment, or the building bricks you have had in your pocket or in your briefcase or on your desk are suddenly coming to life and you know how to use them. You're building something magnificent for yourself. It's like this period, this August, the last part of August, is between the event and the consequence. So we've been waiting for the event, that's coming, and then the consequence of that event is going to show itself in many, many ways, many ways. Let's finish this reading with one more card. Let's keep it short and sweet. And by the time we get to the full moon, we will have so much more knowledge on how we need to move forwards, and more healing will have gone on, and we will be more aware of the storm warnings that come in, and we will not ignore them. But when we get storm warnings, we will take heed and we will listen to how they go, but we won't under any circumstances run into the storm and fall down or get pushed out of the way. No, we will wait. We will know that we will see the signs. We will know. And we will know that in the past where we ignored storm warnings, how dangerous and precarious our positions were. Oops, 2 more cards. Definitely a harvest is coming in for you, and you will be walking away from all those worries you had before, those upheavals that gave you a sense of sadness. You will be walking away from those, shutting the gate on them and going, thank God, they were a blessing in disguise. Here we've got daughter value, lots of money coming in. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, let me know what happens to you in August. And here I am, Higher Self Magic. Please like, share and subscribe so this channel can grow. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.